How you doing? It's your resident disabled dude with the TBI and DYSARTHRIA, which is getting better, I guess, after fucking years. But yeah, so, I kinda wanna watch this, but I haven't seen it yet. But yeah, let's watch it. But I don't know if it's the right thing for this. But let's learn what it means to be white, I guess. Caucasia. The fuck is Caucasia? I watched some of it. I watched like fucking 20 seconds. And then I was like, I should record a video. Cause why the fuck not?
So you've heard of the word Caucasian. It's the term generally used to refer to white people. But that
Yes, I have. No. Yes, I have. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'm sorry.
kind of begs the question, why do we call them Caucasian?
Why?
Is there a Caucasia? And if so, do all Caucasian people...
I actually heard of it. And also, isn't caucus a word? But I don't think they're related. Maybe etymologically, but I don't think they're related. But, yeah, Caucasia. I think I heard of that, actually.
come from this speculative Caucasia? There's a lot to unpack with that question.
Caucasia.
And that's what we're going to do in this episode. Let's have a Geogra talk.
Okay.
Hey guys, I'm your host Barbs, and today we're filming in my room because my mom's making gimbap in the dining room right now where I usually film. I'm not even joking, Mom made it. Oh my god, I love this stuff. I'm gonna eat it right now. Mom, why are you always watching Chinese soap opera?
That looks like sushi, I guess. Maybe. I don't know, whatever.
Bros.
Interesting about their cultural.
Oh my goodness gracious, what do I have here? I am wearing a Geography Now t-shirt and I have a Geography Now mug, of which it's fourth you can get at geographynow.com. Check out the website, we got a lot of cool
Did he say which? Huh.
mugs. Get whatever. We got a lot of cool shirt and I have a Geography Now mug, of which it's fourth you can get at geographynow.com.
Of which, he said of which. That's awesome. I want to start pronouncing my H's before. Like in WH words, I want to pronounce it HW. Because that seems more right, but I don't do it. White. Caucasian white. Which. Whip.
Check out the website. We got a lot of cool merch. We got drawstring bags. We got hoodies. We got mugs. Get what?
Hoodies. I'm like not criticizing, but I'm like talking about this ad more than I would be about the video, I think.
Whatever you want, do whatever you want with the merch after you get it. I don't care. Put it on a pedestal or throw it in a dumpster fire. I don't care. It's your merch, not mine. And as I always say, it is not selling out.
It's not my merch. Fuck you. I don't know who this guy is. I just found this video.
If it's your brand. So, back to the question of this video. Why do we say Caucasian, and is there a Caucasia? Well, to answer that question, we kind of have to go back in time and understand why we even use that word. And spoiler alert, it's kind of an outdated term that we probably shouldn't be using, but you know, people be lazy. So, one thing people have always recognized throughout history is that people look different. Shocker. But the funny thing is...
Wow, really? That's weird, man. I thought everyone looks like me. But I only see myself in the mirror, so...
Throughout ancient times, people weren't so hyper-fixated on people's biological race as much as they were rather more fixated on your mutable characteristics like your language, culture, or religion. From there, the colors kind of just meshed and people didn't really care that much. It's interesting. The ancient Greeks considered anybody who wasn't Greek a barbaroi or barbarian. This even included light-skinned people like Scythians or interior European peoples. It didn't matter. If you were not Greek, you were barbaroi. In Rome,
I'm barbaroi. Hold on, how do you say it?
Or interior European peoples, it didn't matter. If you were not Greek, you were barbaroi. In Rome, you were either a citizen,
barbaroi.
ally, foreigner, or slave. And oftentimes they would enslave Germanic, Brittonic, Greek.
Oh, I heard, because I'm Slavic, right? I was born in Soviet Russia. So, Slavic, I heard, come from the word Slav, which is slave in some countries or something. No, I think that's why it started. I'm not sure. I don't know. I might have made that up, but I don't think so. I heard it somewhere. But Slav comes from slave. Because my people were slaves. Let my people go.
North African and Syrian peoples. I mean, that's not to say that ancient peoples didn't understand and recognize the physical differences between peoples. For example, Greek historian Herodotus described the Ethiopians as tall, very dark-skinned, and handsome. Roman historian Tacitus described Germans as tall, blonde, blue-eyed, and wild and warlike. In medieval times, Mongols as tall, blonde, blue-eyed, and wild and warlike. In medieval times, Mongols were described as small-eyed, broad-cheeked, and monstrous, almost...
Why do they all have like that was the rule of the time? 3-word descriptions. But I'm kidding, I know it's not. By the way, I feel like I should say I'm kidding a lot, because I sound like a stupid person sometimes. But I'm not, I just sound like one and I just say stupid things. But I say them on purpose. I'm not really that stupid. I'm stupid a little. But not that stupid. So... chill.
to amplify a sense of fear.
Chill perception of you in my head.
Which, I mean, when you're getting attacked by the Mongols, it's
Perception of your perception in my head. In my head, I'm thinking of your perception. Oh, whatever. Let's rewind this.
Warlike. In medieval times, Mongols were described as small-eyed, broad-cheeked, and monstrous, almost to amplify a sense of fear, which, I mean, when you're getting attacked by the Mongols, it's kind of understandable. But throughout most of ancient history, your biological race wasn't so much important as it was as your ideological attributes. I mean, sure, maybe your tribe or clan also kind of played in as well, which I guess also factors into your biological lineage. But like, even then, tribes and clans usually intermarried and intermingled with outsiders and made babies with each other, usually as a form of like alliance building. So even...
Did they really? I mean, I'm sure they did, but I think it was less prevalent in the past, I would think.
And then the tribe or clan concept wasn't so insanely fixated on your immediate biological race. It wasn't until much later that we started to kind of compartmentalize people in these visual distinction categories, aka races. Long story short, after the Industrial Revolution, people had a bit more time to kind of observe the more intricate, compartmentalize people in these visual...
Baby bunch colors. Okay. I'm just looking at their faces because I want to see if there are any Easter eggs, so to speak.
Distinction categories, aka races. Long story short, after the Industrial Revolution, people had a bit more time to kind of observe the more intricate, subtle details of the world rather than just, growing potatoes to survive. And in the late 1700s, this guy, a German anthropologist named Johann Friedrich Blumenbach, tried to
I was gonna try to pronounce that. Fuck.
classify humans into races, and he had 5 groups. And he used the word Caucasian for peoples of Europe, West Asia, and North Africa. Why did he choose that word? Well,
that makes sense.
Was incredibly subjective and speculative, but what he did was he looked at the skulls of peoples from all over Europe, West Asia, and North Africa, and he concluded that skulls from the Caucasus region, specifically in what is now the country of Georgia, had the closest resemblance to all the minute features found in the majority of all the skulls he observed, and it had the most symmetry and ideal form. Therefore, he concluded that Europeans, or at the very least, light pigmented peoples, must have originated from the Caucasus region. So congratulations, Georgia. According to this 18th century pseudoscience German guy, I guess you guys are the OG white people. Anyhow, now, despite the fact that later his findings were proven incorrect, the whole Africa migration theory. Actually, now there's like an Asian migration theory. I don't even want to get into that. But anyway, the point is, the word Caucasian was propagated from the 18th and 19th century publications, and today we just still use it because we're lazy. That being said,
we are lazy as a species. Actually, I think we are not lazy in the sense that we, in general, I'm speaking in generalizations here, that we do harder things to avoid doing things in the future, which is kind of smart if you think about it. And also, I don't know if it's like everyone, it's just me. I don't do hard things. Like, no, I'm rambling. Let's watch this.
Is there actually a Caucasia? Well, if you zoom in on the map in the areas between the Black and Caspian Seas, you find this incredibly picturesque transcontinental mountainous region transitioning between what is geographically Eastern Europe and Western Asia. This is one of the most demographic.
But I thought the Caucasus was like something in the government, maybe. I don't know.
Extreme places on Earth because it has one of the highest concentration of native ethno-linguistic groups at somewhere around 50 in an area about the size of Cameroon or Sweden, for my Americans, California. There's no specific defined line or boundaries on what constitutes Caucasia, but it's generally understood to be the areas around the Caucasus Mountains. Today, the Caucasus is divided into 4 separate sovereign nations: Russia, Georgia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan, with 2.5-ish disputed autonomous.
I hear way too much about Azerbaijan lately. That's weird. Nagorno Karabakh. Nagorno Karabakh Artsakh. I don't know, I like to pronounce things. Azerbaijan, I like how that's pronounced. Asadia. I don't like Georgia, the country. I mean, it's not that I don't like him, it's just that, like, Georgia, the state, stole their thunder, so I prefer Georgia state, because America, you know? Abkhazia, I never heard that. Abkhazia, Russia. I can't do Russian accent that well. Maybe I can, even though I was born there. Even though I was born there, I can't speak in a Russian accent. I lived here since I was 4 years old. And I didn't really, like, I wasn't born in Russia. I was born in Tatarstan, which was the Soviet Union. Soviet Onion.
Areas, I'll explain that later, and furthermore divided into 4 main ethno-linguistic peoples. However, only 2 have ancient native roots to the area. The ethno-linguistic families are the Caucasian peoples, the Indo-European peoples, the Turkic, and 1 small Mongolic group, the Kalmyks, depending on how far you want to stretch the line of Caucasia. And today, I will break down the 4 ethno-linguistic family groups of Caucasia. I'm going to give you like a general overview and list out some of the biggest ones. I don't have time to do all 50. That would make this video way too long, okay? So with that, let's start with the oldest and most notable appropriately named namesake group, the Caucasian peoples. These are the first known inhabitants of the Caucasus region. They date back to at least Neolithic times. Now, just keep in mind, Caucasian...
It says nothing to anything, but it tries to go, woohoo, but I can't go any higher. Like, I think my voice, I think a second puberty or something hit, because my voice went deeper, I think, all of a sudden out of nowhere. Which is good, I like that, but I can't do, I can't do fucking, that's the highest I can go nowadays. Alright, back to this and rewind a little.
They date back to at least Neolithic times. Now, just keep in mind, Caucasian is just a geographic term. It's not an ethno-linguistic term. A lot of these people are not even related to each other. They're just all within the same general geographic area. So within the Caucasian peoples, it breaks down to a few distinct people groups. First off, you have the Kartvelian peoples, made out of 4 language groups: the Svan, Mingrelian, Laz, and the largest one you may already know of, the Georgian peoples. Although keep in mind, Georgian is just the Anglophone name. It's actually, they call themselves Sakartvelo. Kartvelian, it makes sense, you know? Anyway, all of the languages have some degree of mutual intelligibility, and they're all written with the Georgian or the Mkhredruli script. It's phonetic, so each letter makes a sound, and it was actually the alphabet that inspired the Elfish language from Lord of the Rings. Fun fact. Kartvelians are majority Christian, usually falling in the Georgian Orthodox faith, which is part of the larger Eastern Orthodox Church, just like Greeks. I've been to Georgia. I'm just gonna stay straight up from my personal experience. Georgia is such an underrated country, I swear. Oh my god, I love Khachapuri Ajara. Personal experience. Georgia is such an underrated country, I swear. Oh my god, I
like that structure.
I love Khachapuri Ajara.
I tried Russian Khachapuri, which I thought it was Russian, but Khachapuri. But they don't look like that, one of the ones I tried. Huh. So I guess I don't know, whatever. It's a difference. Huh.
experience. Georgia is such an underrated country, I swear. Oh my god, I love khachapuri ajara. I could eat that stuff 24/7/11. Batumi is an amazing city. The buildings with the lights and everything, it looks crazy. They have natural hot springs. And Georgia is home to Borjomi water, the most healing water on earth. Look, I'm just saying this stuff could probably cure cancer and everything. I'm like, when you drink this stuff, you feel the heal. That should be their logo. Feel the heal. Oh, I swear, I could drink this stuff 24/7/11. All right, next.
It's like cocaine infused or something. That's what it's addicted. Say, hey, drink my ass. Speaking of caffeinated, I mean, come on, it's caffeine. Like, it's basically, caffeine is basically cocaine. I never tried coke actually, but basically, it's cocaine. Off topic, I find it really interesting. In World War II, like everyone in Germany was hopped up on amphetamines, but in America, we have a huge coffee culture, and all these kids are on Ritalin or fucking Adderall. It's like a drug addiction in a country. I was gonna say in a bottle, a drug addiction in a bottle. But it's not a bottle, it's a medicine bottle. So that makes sense. Yeah, so we're all getting hopped up on amphetamines, essentially. We're all like being wired. And that's interesting why countries do that. Alright, back to this. I don't know how long this video is gonna fucking be.
Up the Circassians. These people are typically in the northern parts of the Caucasus Mountains, the largest ones being the Adige, Cherkess, and Kabardin, found in the Adige, Karachay-Cherkessia, and Kabardino-Balkaria republics of the Russian Federation.
I'm gonna figure out how to pronounce that. Hold on.
Adige, Karachay.
Cause, like, even though it's Russia, it's all different. Like, I don't fucking know Ukrainian. I don't know Belarusian or any other Slavic thing. I just know Russian.
Cherkessia.
Adige, Cherkess, Kabardin, no. Karakay, Cherkessia, Karakay, Cherkessia, Karakay,
And
Kabarino, Balkaria. Alright, back to this.
Kabardino-Balkaria republics of the Russian Federation. And then a slight more distant cousin of them are the Abkhaz peoples, which are in the Abkhazia area, which is disputed with Georgia. Circassian peoples, I actually did a short video on these people, but they're very, very, very unique peoples. These people have a very deep, rich history and culture. A lot of them were sent out into diaspora during Russian imperial times, and so that's why you find a lot of Circassian people in like Turkey and the Middle East. In fact, I think there's a lot of like elite high members of society in Egypt that have Circassian roots. It's crazy. A lot of amazing, cool-looking dances. A lot of the straight postured men and women, and then the women look like they're floating, and the men do the weird spinning and crazy jumping things, and it looks really cool. They wear those like traditional costumes with the bullet pockets. I know all of the
It's weird. Like, history is weird because it's so vast, but at the same time, it's just the same shit. Like, all over every time.
Caucasus people follow the same like traditional clothing with the bullet pockets and the women with the colorful gowns or whatever. And the Abkhaz people, so Abkhazia is sort of like a self-proclaimed independent state that broke away from the country of Georgia. You do have to pass through a border.
Absny, it's not Russian, but Absny. I'm trying to read it as if it were Russian because they're Russian letters. Alsny. I don't even know. I suck at reading Russian anyway. It's not a Russian letter, the third one. Ahavnitkara. It's not what it says at all, but still.
checkpoint in order to enter their area from Georgia. They have their own currency. They have their own government. Legally, under the UN, they are recognized as an autonomous part of Georgia, but that's a whole other thing. Today, only Russia recognizes Abkhazia. Anyway, from there, if you go further east, closer to the Caspian Sea, you get the Dagestani group. You've probably heard of this one. All the memes, send him to Dagestan 2-3 years, forget. That's this place.
I've literally never heard of that.
Dagestan, yes. The Dagestan Republic.
Like, I never heard of Dagestan before in my life. Is that a meme? Like, the fuck? Where have I been? Oh, I'm in here. Shit.
Within the Russian Federation. So it's a part of Russia, but they have their own kind of autonomous rulership, they have their own, government and so on and so forth. But yeah, Dagestan is the most ethno-linguistically diverse place in all of the Russian Federation. Here, there are over 30 native groups and 81 nationalities all found within this one part of Russia. But of the native 30 groups, the largest ones are the Avars, Dargins, Lezgins, and Laks. Avars alone make up...
I'm sorry, I just really want to pronounce this shit. Avars, Dargins. You know what? I had to relearn how to speak. So I just use my voice a lot, as much as I can, say as much shit as I can, usually, to try to, like, right now I think my voice sounds amazing. Like, I don't mean to brag, but to me, right now, my voice sounds better than it ever has, or in recent memory. So this video is gonna be really super long. Fuck, I don't even know how long this is going on so far. I don't even know how to tell. Whatever, let's watch this.
About 1/4 of the entire population of Dagestan. So, by the way, no, they are not the same as the Avars that were from the Pannonian Basin in Hungary. Those were Central Asian peoples. Same name, different people, okay? Just want to make that distinction. Dagestani people, some Eastern Orthodox, but majority Muslim. The
history repeats over and over. History repeats over and over. Yeah.
These people have very, very distinct cultural tropes and traditions. And one thing, when I think of Dagestan, the one thing I think of are those really wide shoulder padded cloaks. Oh, those things from Dagestan. I want to get one of those. Those sheepskin
I want those. Shit.
Cloaks. Those are so cool. I want to get one of those. And finally, with
what I wanted for the longest time in high school was like a monk's robe with like a hood that like no one will see your face, and like, I know, I thought it was so cool. A red one, a big red one, like, like heavy material. And I was looking into it too. But then I was like, what am I gonna, I'm not gonna wear this. I wanted to wear it to school, but then where am I gonna wear it to work as an adult? Like, I don't know. So, I don't wanna, it wasn't worth spending $100. Or even having one, because but I'd use it once, like, the fuck. Then I'd be hanging, taking up space in my closet. Alright, never mind. That's irrelevant. Back to this.
in the Circassian category, you have the Venach peoples. These include the Chechen and
That's an awesome name. Venach. Venach. Baruch atah. That's Hebrew. That's pretty much all I know in Hebrew.
Ingush peoples found in the Ingushetia and Chechnya republics of Russia. You've probably heard of these, especially Chechen peoples. They've been in the news and anything when it comes to like Russian conflicts and everything. The Chechen peoples, majority Muslim.
I never heard of Ingush though. Ingush.
When it comes to like Russian conflicts and everything, the Chechen peoples, majority Muslim, again, very distinct people group. Chechens, Ingushetians, they're basically cousins of each other. There you go. Now we move on to the next oldest people group, the Indo-European peoples. Basically, they might...
Isn't Indo-Proto-European the first language? The first written language? Indo... whatever. Something. Indo-Proto-European.
Migrated northwards into the Caucasus during the Bronze Age-ish era. The largest of this group are the Armenians. You've probably heard of them. They inhabit mostly the areas of what is now the country.
Wake up, wake up. System of a Down, Armenian. I forgot the chorus song. I don't mean to cry when you na 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 na. I cry when angels deserve to die. Alright, back to this.
Country of Armenia, plus a few of the surrounding areas. They have a whole dispute with Azerbaijan over the Nagorno-Karabakh / Artsakh place. They call it Artsakh, they call it Nagorno-Karabakh, same area. And I'm not gonna get into that because it's too...
History's full of fucking pointless drama. My land, no my land, no my land, my land. My Azimla, your Milando. My land, my land. Fuck you, not your land. Not your land, my land. This is my land. No, it's not even my land. I'm renting this apartment. Alright, back to this.
Complicated right now, and now there's like a corridor that's they're trying to make a deal with whatever, I don't know. But yeah, Armenia. So Armenians are the largest Indo-European groups. Other than Armenians though, then you have the Iranic people groups. This is a unique one. These are the
Like Titanic.
peoples that have Persian-based languages, similar to, you know, Persian or Farsi in Iran. There's a small number of Talish in the southern tip of Azerbaijan by the border of Iran. And then there's the Ossetians. Ossetians live in the breakaway area of South Ossetia, which is internationally recognized as an autonomous region of Georgia, but they consider themselves a separate country or possibly a unit that could be annexed into Russia, because that's a whole other complicated story. South Ossetia, they are Iranic peoples, but they are mostly Orthodox in their religion. They're Christians. Yeah, so Ossetian peoples, very unique culture with them as well. Oh my, I kind of want to do a more deep dive. Maybe I should do a short video about the Ossetians, because there's North Ossetia and there's South Ossetia. North Ossetia and Russia, they're basically the same people, but yeah, and then it goes into the Russian. Anyway, yeah, that's so Ossetians, Iranic Christian peoples in a breakaway state in South Ossetia, which is the part that is recognized. Yeah, you get the point. All right, Armenians and Iranic peoples, those are the Indo-Europeans of the Caucasus. Then we have the next group of people that came in, the Turkic peoples. The earliest Turkic peoples came into the Caucasus region during the Göktürk Khaganate during the 4th century AD.
Oh my god, I thought that said Tamga of Ashina table. I don't know, but then it said tribe. But that looks like a chair. Like that image, that Tamga of Ashina tribe looks like a chair. Or like a little person walking with his little sharp nose. And one of his... Alright, whatever, back to this. No more stupidity. Back to this.
And by the 7th century, they had pretty much established a firmly controlled grasp over the area. Over time, these Turkic groups kind of branched off and created new cousin Turkic groups. And today, the largest one are the Azeris or Azerbaijanis, especially the ones that live in Azerbaijan. Keep in mind, there are also Azeris that live in Iran, and there's a whole complicated debate. I swear to God, it's every time I talk to Azerbaijani people from Azerbaijan, they say, no, we are Turkic. But when I talk to Azeri people in Iran, they say, no, we are Turkified Iranic peoples. I'm like, which one is it? I don't know. It's so complicated, but yeah, anyway.
Islam pretty much took over like everywhere, so now everyone's all confused.
They speak a Turkic language at the very least. They are the largest ones. But after that, you have the Balkar and Karachay in the Kabardino-Balkaria and Karachay-Cherkessia.
Karachay-Cherkessia, Kabardino-Balkaria. Yo, I can't roll my tongue. I'm not a good Russian speaking person. But I can briefly roll my tongue like bra 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 bra. Like I can say like tra tra tra, like in the beginning of a letter. Bra. I can't even do it now. Bra bra bra. Bra bra bra, homie.
republics of Russia, and then you have the Kumyk peoples found mostly in Dagestan and a little bit in Chechnya. Mostly Azerbaijani, a few in the Caucasus Mountains, and yeah, those are the Turkic peoples. They came in during Turkic Khaganate, and then later the Ottomans came in and blah blah blah. Everything got a little bit Turkified in certain areas. There you go. And finally, depending on how far you want to stretch the boundaries of what constitutes Caucasia, you have one Mongolic group, the Kalmyk peoples. Yes, they are cousins of the Mongolians and other Mongolic peoples like the Buryats and Oryats and all that other stuff. Basically, they migrated here during the 17th century as they were driven out by the expanding Qing Empire of China. And these Kalmyk people basically went all the way to the Volga River and then crossed it and then kind of settled.
I'm gonna read that in Russian characters. Good, good. But like, good. Interesting. But it's not good. Alright, whatever. Back to this.
Their regions near the Caspian Sea, and today Kalmykia is the furthest westernmost Mongolic peoples on earth, and they are also the furthest westernmost Buddhist community on earth as well. You can find Buddhist temples in Kalmykia. It's weird. It's like Russia, but then you see like Buddhist temples, and it's so, and they have a Kalmyk language, and they're trying to revive it because over the years, a lot of these Mongolic languages within the Russian Federation have been kind of suppressed and they've been dying out, and now they're trying to revive them. But yeah, it's so crazy when you find these and they're trying to revive it because over the years, a lot of these Mongolic languages within the Russian Federation have been kind of suppressed and they've been.
Oh, I was looking like what was the chessboard, but it's one of those life-size chessboards. It's a short-ass king, you know what I mean? No, but a peasant is taller than the king. The king is like a little chess piece. Look at that dude. He's human. He's better than you. I don't know what I'm talking about. Whatever. Let's get back to watching this.
Dying out, and now they're trying to revive them. Languages within the Russian Federation have been kind of suppressed and they've been dying out, and now they're trying to revive them. But yeah, it's so crazy when you find these like social migration patterns throughout the world, and I don't know, I find stuff like that so fascinating. But yeah, and fun fact, Kalmykia is inspired me to make my April Fool's video.
Quetzalcoatl. Quetzalcoatl. I don't know how to pronounce that.
For Kitikwaka. If you haven't seen that video, check it out.
Kitikwaka. Close. Kitikwaka.
Kitikwaka. I love saying that. Kitikwaka. So yeah, there you go. So basically, the Caucasus region is a conglomeration of God knows how many people groups, like over 50, from 4 major ethno-linguistic groups. They all have very distinct cultures and traditions. You can't even scratch the surface with this place. There's too much stuff going on. Too many distinct, unique people groups. Maybe I should do like shorts on each of these. I don't know. It'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to do this little overview to talk each of these. I don't know.
I want to say that again. It's pretty dope. But I want the black shit, like the black thing, because that seems to take away from the aesthetic of the coat.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to do this little overview to talk about Caucasia. Moral of the story.
Caucasia.
Caucasia is basically the Caucasus Mountains. No, it is not where white people came from, but it's a very fascinating place with like over 50 ethno-linguistic groups that all get mixed in together. I love this place. I've been to Armenia and Georgia. Definitely recommend visiting it if you can. I still have to go to Azerbaijan. I'm gonna make that happen this year. Anyway, I got a plate of kimbap waiting for me in the kitchen. I'm gonna head out now. Stay cool.
Kimbap.
Stay tuned.
Kimbap, ooba, ba, whoa, I only heard that song by them. Whoa. I don't know why I thought of that. I forgot. Alright, so let's see. What is there left to say? That was interesting. That was interesting. Probably to no one, though. Because I didn't really react to it. I just, talked about shit. I kind of reacted to it. I was like, at certain parts, I was like gasping, I jumped, I was like, holy shit. Alright, you know what? You like and subscribe.